What if you could learn English the way you learned your first language? No grammar books. No long vocabulary lists. Just fun, real-life stories that stick in your mind. That's what this channel is all about. When you listen to a story, you don't just learn. You feel, you imagine, and you remember. Today's story is exciting, a little scary, and very real. As you follow the journey, your brain will naturally pick up English sentence structure, vocabulary, and even rhythm, all without effort. So before we begin, don't forget to subscribe to our channel, give this video a like, and tap the bell icon. We post daily stories to help you improve your English in the most natural way possible. Her name was Sophie. She was 23, from a small town in Canada, and it was her first time in Europe. She had a list of places she wanted to see, but one was at the very top, literally and emotionally. The Eiffel Tower. It was her third day in Paris. She had already tasted fresh croissants, wandered through old bookshops, and watched the sunset from the banks of the Seine. But today was special. She arrived at the Eiffel Tower just after lunch. The sky was clear, and there was a light breeze in the air. Tourists filled the area, laughing, pointing, taking photos. Sophie stood in line with her ticket in hand, her heart racing a little. It was finally happening. She decided to take the elevator to the top. Her legs were tired, and she wanted to enjoy the view without climbing hundreds of steps. When it was her turn, she stepped into the elevator with a few others. It moved up smoothly, giving her a strange, floating feeling. They reached the second level. Some people got off. Sophie stayed. She wanted to go all the way to the top. The doors closed again. The elevator began to rise. But just a few seconds later, it stopped. Completely. The lights flickered. Then everything went dark. And quiet. There were no other passengers. Just Sophie. Alone. In the middle of the Eiffel Tower. Inside a metal box. She didn't panic at first. She thought maybe it was just a short delay. Maybe someone pressed the wrong button. Maybe the system was just adjusting. But then 5 minutes passed. Then 10. No voice came through the speaker. No movement. No light. Sophie tried pressing the emergency button. She waited. Nothing. She knocked on the elevator wall. "Hello," she said out loud, even though she knew no one would hear. Her heart started beating faster. The silence was loud. The air felt tighter. She leaned against the side of the elevator and tried to breathe slowly. She checked her phone. No signal. Of course. Trapped. In one of the most famous landmarks in the world. And totally alone. She sat down on the floor, hugging her knees. She tried to stay calm, but thoughts rushed through her mind. What if no one knew she was in there? What if it took hours? What if something worse happened? Time passed slowly. It was hard to tell how long it had been. Maybe 20 minutes. Maybe 40. Then she heard something. A noise above her. A click. A buzz. A voice. French first. Then English. "Attention, please. There has been a short electrical issue. The elevator will move shortly. Do not worry." Sophie let out a breath she hadn't realized she was holding. A few more seconds. The lights came on. The elevator moved. It went up, slowly, carefully, and stopped at the top. The doors opened. A staff member was standing there. He looked calm, professional. Sophie stepped out quickly, saying nothing. Her legs felt like jelly. The man gave her a polite nod. "Everything okay, mademoiselle?" Sophie nodded. She couldn't speak yet. She walked toward the railing. The view spread out in front of her. Paris, wide and golden in the late afternoon light. It should have been the most beautiful moment of her trip. But all she felt was relief. And then she started laughing. Quiet at first. Then louder. Because who else could say they got stuck in an elevator at the top of the Eiffel Tower and lived to tell the story? Later that evening, she texted her family and said, "Best day ever, but also worst." And somehow, that made it perfect. You just learned something amazing. Without memorizing grammar rules, you picked up sentence patterns, emotional vocabulary, and real expressions, all through an entertaining story. That's the magic of learning through story. Your brain connects the language to feeling, and that's what helps it stick. So now it's your turn. Like this video, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment. Have you ever been stuck somewhere unexpected? We want to hear your story. Let's keep learning together, one story at a time. See you in the next one.